Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution. I'm Dave Russell. Well, several hot topics are making waves in Washington, D.C. this week, and the American Farm Bureau Federation is keeping track of all of them. Chad Smith has more.
Just 1 month after a new Congress was sworn in and 2 weeks after a new president was inaugurated, the nation's capital is already buzzing with a number of important happenings. AFPF President Zippy Duvall says the top of everyone's mind is the tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China recently announced by President Trump.
This caused concerns among our members that these tariffs would drive up price of imported supplies and that retaliatory tariffs would hurt agriculture. However, we're encouraged that President Trump was able to work out an agreement with Mexico and Canada to pause the tariffs for 30 days. We hope that all sides will be able to resolve these disputes, avoid costly trade disruptions, and keep international markets accessible while ensuring a stable food supply here at home.
Duvall will soon testify before the Senate Ag Committee about the challenges facing American farmers and ranchers.
These challenges include a lack of a new, updated farm bill, a tax cliff that we are barreling toward this year, ongoing labor challenges, and potential disruptions in free trade. Congress must look out for farmers and ranchers so that we can, in turn, ensure Americans' pantries continue to be stocked.
Chad Smith, Washington.
U.S. farmers retained their post-election optimistic outlook at the start of 2025 as the January Purdue University CME Group Ag Economy Barometer Index rose 5 points above December to 141. The barometer's rise was primarily attributed to a 9-point rise in the Current Conditions Index. The index of future expectations rose only 3 points in comparison. Compared to previous surveys, fewer producers in January pointed to lower crop and livestock prices as a top concern, which helped explain why producers felt better about the current situation. Farmers remain more optimistic about the future than the current situation, as the Future Expectations Index was still 47 points above the Current Conditions Index. The Farm Financial Performance Index rose 14 points in January, a sign that producers expect this year to be better than 2024. What are some of the trends in agritourism as revealed in the USDA's most recent Census of Agriculture?
Not only is agritourism as an industry growing, so is data to better recognize and understand this sector of agriculture and its trends. Audrey Comerford of Oregon State University Extension notes recent data associated with USDA's 2022 Census of Agriculture.
1.9 million U.S. farms were estimated to basically report 1.5% reported themselves being engaged in some sort of agritourism and 6% of direct-to-consumer sales.
Agritourism operations were reported in 57% of the nation's counties in the most recent census, with almost 50% of that total originating from just 4 states: California, Texas, Colorado, and Hawaii. And what they generated in income was over 1/4 of the $1.26 billion with a B dollars in agritourism sales nationally in 2022. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
And the Senate Agriculture Committee unanimously voted to advance Brooke Rollins to be Secretary of Agriculture. Rollins will now be considered by the full U.S. Senate. National Association of Wheat Growers CEO Chandler Gould applauded the move, saying Brooke Rollins will be an outstanding Secretary of Agriculture. The markets, they're next.
Over 2,400 pieces of quality equipment will be up for grabs during the Ritchie Brothers Great Lakes Regional Sales Event on February 12th and 13th. Don't miss out on this huge selection of vehicles and machinery suited to a wide variety of industries and applications, including truck tractors, van trucks, pickup trucks, refrigerated trailers, excavators, flatbeds, and more. Level up your buying experience by taking advantage of our pre-sale in-person inspections. Registration for the sale is free and online only. Visit rbauction.com to get started. Again, that's rbauction.com.
Did you know that soybeans are the secret sauce behind Ohio's booming poultry farms? Each year, poultry consume a whopping 937 million bushels of soybean meal nationwide. This high-protein powerhouse keeps chickens and turkeys thriving. making Ohio number 2 in egg production and number 9 in turkey farming. From farm to table, soybeans power the farms that feed families. Brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
The markets brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, March corn $4.93 and a quarter, down a penny and a quarter. December corn $4.68 and a half, up a half cent. March beans $10.57, down 18 cents. November soybeans $10.62 and a half, down 11. July wheat $5.96 and three quarters, down 2 and a half. At the Mercantile Exchange, February cattle $203.60, up $1.72. February hogs $86.65, up $1.57. April feeder cattle $270.47, up $2.85. This is the Ohio AgNet.